I think especially because I didn't grow up in a rural area, and especially I didn't grow up in poverty, I think the first thing I would notice is just how complicated it is. And I think that oftentimes when people talk about poverty, they talk about these high points. It's just this, and this. If you would just do this, if they would just do this, and it's so very, very difficult. And in many, many cases, it's generational. And so I think that's the first thing I would see and recognize, and I think is just to appreciate. It's very complicated, and it's actually really hard to get out from. And so I think of Helena specifically, I think about opportunity. So just in terms of having access to all of the things that help make to help make a kid well-rounded, whether it's, lots of books that are on their level that they can easily access both at home, at school, on the weekends, being able to find their passions, whether that's, playing soccer or different kind of extracurriculars, having the resources to be able to go to the dentist when their teeth hurt, to be able to go to a doctor when they're sick, to be able to sit in a classroom and focus because their basic needs are taken care of, whether that's food or health or clothes or whatever that is. And so I think in Helena, it's a lot of those basics, and I think it's made difficult because a lot of our families have been living here for generations, and so it's I forget the statistic, but I remember reading a study where it was saying that in order for someone to overcome poverty, they essentially need to go for like 20 years without making a single mistake. So without missing this particular bill or having a car accident or having like any kind of major life event, they essentially have to go a long time without having any of that. And so I think it's just so complicated, and it's so hard, and I think that's when I think of poverty in Helena. That's what I see. I see the many layers of it and how complicated it is, and I also see folks who maybe financially, others would say they have nothing, but are willing to give everything. I think that's the great thing about the Delta, is that folks, if they don't have money to give, they will cook for you. If they can't cook for you, they will volunteer for you. They will do whatever it takes above and beyond, even what you would see in a typical middle class neighborhood. Like they will give and they will support in any way that they can. I think that's what makes a place like this special. I feel like that's what gives a lot of folks hope. It's when people are joining together, even with limited resources.